Hello, welcome to OK Boomers. My name is Ester Graham, and we have with us today Stann Champion, and he's very gifted and he's a very talented gentleman. He's a guitarist, a singer, a producer. He plays multiple instruments, and I'm really going to allow him to share with us what he does. We're just so happy to have you with us, Stan.
Well, I'm
We
glad to be
are.
here.
Oh my God, thank you so much. Can you start out by just sharing with us a little bit about what you do?
Well,
Uh,
you kind of named it. It's. I came here with a gift. In this world, I started as a young child sketching. That's
oh,
other things. It was with the form and colors and just using a pencil and doing things and occupying my mind.
okay.
I just started just doing it. It was always there. Music is
Wow.
something I picked up later. That was something that I had to acquire. I wasn't born with that.
Really? So wait
Yeah.
a minute. You are an artist too. So you do visual arts, you paint,
Well,
and
I was an artist. I just would sketch and
uh-huh.
draw. For some, just it's just something I just did, and I was recognized by a fifth grade teacher.
Oh wow.
She recommended me and sent me to the Chicago Art Institute at 10 years old.
Wow.
I was going to the junior school. I would go on Saturdays. She recognized my gift and she gave
Uh-huh.
uh, a little scholarship to go there. So that's where it all started on that end of it. As
Wow.
a matter of fact, from that, I've got a piece that's now owned by the Smithsonian Institute in D.C.
Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my
Something I
goodness.
did when I was like 13 years old. So
Really?
that part of it, my career was, kind of set in stone in a way. But
Uh-huh.
what happened was is that like a lot of other guitar players greater than I, big stars, they were always artists first, and then all of a sudden they became musicians.
Wow. What
And I found that to be very interesting because that was my case. Because once I started playing the guitar,
uh-huh.
kind of left the form, kind of I kind of abandoned it,
Oh
because
really? Okay.
well, for me, it was like I didn't realize what I was doing. I was abandoning form for sound.
Oh, okay.
Sound is so divine. It's higher than form because it has
Uh-huh.
bliss and it's
Yeah.
bigger. So I think that's why most artists become musicians eventually because
Oh
the
wow.
brain that does that. But I picked up music because I was a troubled child. I had behavioral problems
Okay. Okay.
because my parents had
Okay.
separated, and it kind of destroyed me in a way like a lot of other kids had happened. So
Oh wow.
I picked it up just to kind of just strum the pain away. I had no idea that I would be doing it like this. That was not my intention.
Wow.
It
So
was not
you,
my intention.
oh my goodness, you
It
have
just
really
happened, It just grew. It just grew like that. I just wanted to play for me because I was just kind of strumming the pain away.
uh-huh. Uh-huh. So you were able to overcome that with the help of the Lord, your
Well, and
child.
that's too why
Uh-huh.
I try to give back. Because exactly what you're saying. Yes.
Okay. And we do appreciate that because it's really hard. What I'm doing, I try to contact different people who are successful, like you, to kind of volunteer their time for my group. I'm a part of. It's a booming boomers group. We're baby boomers. We do have some youth in the group as well, but we're trying to find our place. We have waited until we've gotten up in age, as my parents used to call it. And believe it or not, I'm learning to play the bass.
I
So,
saw that. I was
oh,
impressed with that.
really?
How's
Hey,
that coming along?
it's coming along fairly well. I have a lot to learn. I have a son-in-law who's teaching me, but I have a lot to learn. Um,
Do you did you just start playing, or were you playing it before?
well, I tell you what happened is really kind of weird. About 20 years ago, my late husband got me a bass guitar because I told him I was interested in playing. So he got me lessons, and I started the lessons, and I guess I was doing fairly well. But my bass equipment was in the back of my car trunk, and I had taken it to work for some reason. I don't know whether I was going to go to my lessons after work or what. But anyway, I had an accident. I was rear-ended.
Huh. Oh.
My equipment was
Oh.
destroyed. Now, the insurance
Oh.
company, they paid for it, but at that time, I spent the money on something else and I didn't pick it up again until now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting you said that because, and that's the reason why I asked, because I'll tell
Mhm.
you this. I am so glad that I have this to do at this age
Yes.
because we have that
Yes.
freedom and I have something that keeps my mind together and something I can
Yes.
share with other people. So you're picking a good time to do that.
Oh, awesome. Well, I tell you what, you are my mentor. I've listened to some of your videos, and you also go to nursing homes and hospitals and do
Well,
music therapy.
well, how this is how it started with me.
Uh-huh.
My mother bought my first guitar when I was 13.
Oh,
Hated the fact that I played.
oh, wow.
She wasn't too crazy about it. She wasn't too crazy about it at all.
Oh, wow.
And I think she thought I wasn't going to go to school. I was going to probably try to be a musician and my attention. I loved the instrument and I wanted to play and I wanted to use something to help me.
Uh-huh.
I was separated from my dad, who I loved very much.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
what happened is that it was so funny. As much as she didn't like the fact that I could play, that I played, she would always have company, and when company would come over, she would say, "Stan, go get your guitar." So I always had to get my guitar, Esther, all the time when she called me. So that was my first
Okay.
was friends of my families.
Uh-huh.
I never really played for any audience other than that. Then, I had a little band in high school. We did a talent show, so that was
Uh-huh.
my next audience there.
Uh-huh.
Um, I used to have a friend where he used to let me rehearse in his basement because he had a really nice basement and he was really nice to rehearse there. And this is when I had started in the private sector. I still wanted to play
Uh-huh.
music,
Okay. Uh-huh.
and he would let us use it. And he was part of the organization UNIA, the Marcus Garvey movement.
Oh.
One time he asked us, well, you guys practice here all the time. Could you guys come and play at one of our rallies? And it was like, really? There's going to be an audience? Oh,
Oh my
well,
goodness.
certainly. We love to play. So, yeah. So, Joe, I said, yeah. So, we'll come do that. So
Uh-huh.
that's how, again, everybody's usually asking me to come do something. That's how I developed the audience. And then all of a sudden, I just started focusing more on doing it like that and
Okay.
performing before people. I mean, I went to college. I have a college degree. I went to
Uh-huh.
school and I was in the private sector, but I just played the music, as something that was for me, something that
Okay.
no matter what, a buffer, you know.
Okay. Okay.
5% of me through changes, but I had something that kept me grounded by being able.
Wonderful. Oh, wow.
And the opportunity came where all of a sudden I was playing in front of more people and more people, and I got appreciated. And um, I used to hear an English teacher used to tell me that I had this talent for writing, and I never really recognized that
Wow, you're
not
right
until
too.
not until later when I started. I said, well, you know what? Because the way I learned how to play songs is by putting the turntable back 100 times, trying to listen to hear it and try what it was I was listening to. And one day I got so frustrated, Esther, that I said, I'm gonna start writing my own songs.
Oh, wow,
Practice
wow.
on those. That I'm gonna be me.
Uh-huh.
It's about time for me to be me, and that changed everything. And that's when I start recording stuff. And when you start recording stuff, you become a good listener. When you become a good listener, then you realize how good you're not. How you got to bit more. You got to play a little bit better. You got to sing a little better, and it forces you to do things. So, and that's what happened. The works come out of just that desire to do something
Wow.
good with it.
Oh my goodness, I really do admire you. I mean, trying to, how did I come across your work? It's baffling. I cannot recall because when I first contacted you, I think we are friends on Facebook.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So I think I started looking at your page and your work and all of that, and I got
Well,
so
I think that's how I saw you on Facebook because I saw you with that bass. I'm always impressed with female bass players. Well, bass players, period. You know, because my dad
Oh,
played bass. You know, he played
oh,
the old
wow.
upright bass and drums. But I'm
Wow.
always impressed with young ladies who play bass because and my cousin Stephanie, she's picked up the bass. She wanted to pick up the
Really? Oh my
and
goodness.
you got a decent bass too. What is that? Jazz bass? Is that it?
Oh no, not the last one that you saw. That was not my base. My base is
Oh,
really inexpensive. I was
oh,
told to
okay.
get a really inexpensive one, because of
Yes,
practicing.
certainly. But it certainly looked good. I tell you. So I was impressed with that. So that's what made me just click on. I said, "Well, I'll be your friend," and I saw some of your background. Now,
Oh,
Miss
okay.
Esther, now it ain't really about Stan, but it's really about like minds and like individuals.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
What you were doing. So I said, "This is the kind of friend I need to know," and
I like
that's
that.
why I clicked on there.
Oh my goodness, that is awesome. Well, guess what? We're friends for life.
There you go. Exactly, and we probably were friends before this.
Hey, all right. Awesome. Awesome.
Probably.
Oh
There's,
my
there's no
goodness.
coincidences, none.
No
None.
coincidences. I
So
love it.
where are you located?
I'm in Alabama. Would you believe that? Can you tell my southern drawl? I've been told I have a southern drawl. Yes, can you pick up on it?
Is your family from Alabama?
Yes, I was born in a little small town of Prattville near Montgomery,
My goodness, I bet you got some.
capital.
Wow, I bet you got some stories.
Oh, I got some stories. Oh, my dad was a awesome storyteller, true stories. I was in the civil rights movement back then. I did get to see Martin Luther King one time. Once I was
Oh,
able to see him. So I was really active back then. I am a nurse. I guess you could say I'm semi-retired. I'm trying to do a small business, wellness coaching. So that's my background.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
I guess see that all makes sense. Because it's all that's what happened with me. I realized that I had a gift with this music.
Okay.
Thing I learned. I had a gift before that, with
Okay.
art. But what I had the gift with this music, that's why I said it was more powerful than the gift of form.
Okay.
I've that was it had a healing property. The reason
Yes.
why I picked it up in the first place for myself because it was healing me. In
Yes. I
jail or on
love it.
drugs or someplace in the gutter,
Okay.
way
Okay.
I was going through some changes.
Okay. Okay.
But it saved my life. So I figured that I'll use
Thank
it to
God.
save others or help
Yes.
others because it
Yes.
saved me. And then it became my greatest works. And the really greatest works was to go and perform in the hospitals, and
Okay.
where people don't go and see the people are there. They don't get no kind of attention. They don't get anything, and it's just those are the best audiences. And all my friends always ask me, "Well, Stan, you're always doing this. You're always doing that. You do blah blah blah." I said because I give of myself. You guys, I try to get you guys to do the same thing, but everybody
Yes.
about this right away. It's not about
Okay.
that right away.
Yeah.
It exchanges because this is God's creation, not man.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, I love it, Stan. Oh my God. Yes, we're friends forever.
So it's part of the healing process, and of course, this nation needs a very heavy
We do.
now.
Yes,
This
we
is a
do.
very strange time, and that we're all coming together for a very reason because we're at this war, and it's not
Yes.
color; it's a war of color of hearts.
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
and
Yes.
that God's putting certain things in place to let people know. Well, you either for the good or you're for the evil. And
Absolutely.
I'm not really a hater, but I do hate evil,
Oh,
and I
yes.
cleave to good.
Yes.
That's what
That's
I'm thinking of. I've had enough bad in my life. I want
okay.
to my life and spread the goodness of it until I'm
I
out.
love that. I love that. And Stan, I was just thinking about what you said about music therapy. I've noticed that has really taken on in hospitals, nursing homes. I can recall it's kind of a sad note, but I mean, I'll share it anyway. My husband, when he was my late husband, when he was in the hospital, he was terminal, but they did music therapy for him. And it's amazing what that music therapy did. It's
I
a
discovered it was like digging for gold. I
yes,
discovered that. It's unbelievable.
yes,
And it's unbelievable. It took the so-called healing industry to realize that and recognize.
yes,
I'm
yes,
glad that they are too, because now they're recognizing it like, it's the fountain is flowing. But that's what I call too, Esther, the God spell.
yes.
Trust in God's work, and you have to wait everybody out, because sometimes we don't get it. That's why God turned his face away from us in the first place,
Wow,
dealing with us for a while.
wow.
The next time you come close to me, you're going to have to do some things. You're going to have to prove to me that you really love me and you really respect me. I'm not.
Yes,
Well, you just can't say you pray and say God, God, God. I need more than that.
yes.
So it's
I
that
know.
I'm glad they're finally getting to it, because a lot of people need it, and
Yes,
not just those who are in hospitals, but there's so much mental illness because of what goes on.
yes, yes.
Especially in our community.
Oh,
That's
yes.
another reason
Okay.
why I figure I could not go before the Lord, Esther, and the Most High, the He
Yes.
of creation, say, "Well, Stan, you had a gift, you had a talent. Why didn't you do something?" I'd be like doing the Jackie Gleason, mighty Father, you
Well,
know.
you're using your talents and
I'm
gifts,
trying
and
to do
I
my best,
admire
my
you for
dear.
that. You
I'm
really
trying to do
are.
my best. And hey, at
Yes,
least
you
I'm
are.
making my folks proud. So
Yeah.
my mom was converted, by the way. I forgot to tell you that part.
Uh-huh.
I knew I had something going on, because I remember
Uh-huh.
left the private sector to play this music full time. My mom had a fit. "Oh, you doing this in red? This is a bad time. You're down there working on Michigan. I can't believe you. This is crazy." But she came around and be
Uh-huh.
convicted. And that even showed me something. It just shows what happens if you really stick to your guns. If I'd gone out
Yes.
frivolous and had nothing to show for it, then she would have a reason to feel a certain way. But I was
Yes.
certain things and make certain things happen, because I didn't want to do it at first. I just was enjoying playing music, but a voice
Uh-huh.
inside, which was the Spirit of God, saying, "Go
Uh-huh.
do this, leave all that permanent, leave all that stuff that you consider safe, you know,
Uh-huh.
leave that alone." And I'm thinking that was the devil talking. Why would I do that?
Oh, oh my
To
goodness,
get to this
yes.
point, why would I want to get to that position? But the things that were shown to me through,
Wow.
I
Wow.
see what was happening, and that's why everything fits in the puzzle now. So I
Oh, that is awesome.
cannot, Esther, let anything mess with this treasury. So I'm on the good team. I leave people
I
alone. I'm on
love
the good
it.
team.
I love it. Oh my goodness. So you do a lot of traveling. I know you told me that you just got back in Chicago, right? That's where you're located?
Right,
Okay.
right. See, that's a story and a history too. I
Uh-huh.
was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania,
Oh, okay.
where most of my family is, and I come from
Okay.
uh, um, a well-known and noble family out of Virginia. We are descendants of Thomas Jefferson.
Oh,
Side. I've got family that been named this city, counties that named after them, schools named after them.
wow.
My great aunt just passed away, bless her soul, back in March. She cooked for the Carnegies and the Mellons and the Heinzes and the Kaufmans, and in the summertime she wouldn't cook for the Kennedys, and she
Oh my
with
goodness,
Frank Lloyd
Stan.
Wright and all this stuff. I got a history that's incredible. I never
It
thought we'd
is
a story
incredible.
like
Oh
this.
my goodness, you know what, Stan? You have got to visit us, please. I mean, I know you're busy, and I do not want to monopolize your
You
time.
know what? It's funny you say that, Esther, because something came like that into my spirit.
Oh, really?
And I have never been to Alabama. I
Wow.
would love to go to
Oh
Alabama.
my goodness, you.
One time, somebody asked me to
Uh,
do a show in Birmingham.
wow.
Birmingham? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh my God. But it never happened, and I never got a chance to go.
Oh my goodness.
I would surely like to come there, because that's part of my journey.
Yes. Well, you must. And you
That's part of
cannot
my
leave
journey.
until you look me up. And then we have
I
got.
was I would love to do that, my dear. We could have conversations for hours and hours and
That
hours,
would be
because there's lots of
awesome.
things that
Oh my
and
God.
I'll bring my guitar and we'll just
Yes.
all kind of stuff. As a matter of fact, we could have a little session. You know, some people we could host something. I don't know how big
Oh, that would be
I can fit in the
awesome.
living room corner somewhere. Jing, jing, jing.
Instead, I'm like a little kid. I gotta warn you. You got me all excited now, and I
Well,
get
that's how God works.
crazy.
It's the God spell. As I said, Esther, this is
Uh-huh.
incredible. But I'm not surprised. I'm
Okay.
I'm not
Oh,
surprised.
wow. And you're so down to earth. Oh
Well, I'm an
my
earth
God.
sign. I was born in. Oh, there's so many stories. We'll talk about these. I could be on here for a week talking about things.
Oh wow, this is awesome. Oh my God. We're gonna have
But
to
the
follow up.
thing is that you're there's something special about this engagement because
Uh-huh.
I had to be patient and wait for people to recognize what was going on.
Wow.
Because if I tried to tell, well, blah 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 blah, people think he's a trip, he's ego tripping, or he's crazy. When certain things are recognized under a spiritual and a heart level,
Uh-huh.
it's like someone has the key, and if you don't have the key, you cannot open it.
Absolutely.
Or you
Absolutely.
can have a key, but it has to be the right key. Well,
Yes.
not if you have the right keys. So it's not preposterous to think about that because I had that in my spirit. I said, boy,
Wow.
sir, I bet she's got some stories. I bet she's down there in Alabama. I've been in Mississippi. I've been in Louisiana.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. But not
And not
Alabama. That's
Alabama. I've been in Georgia.
I got some stories. I write too. I have
Oh my
I
goodness.
did a memoir. I haven't published it yet. I've only published one book, and it's really. Mm, I'm a novice. I must admit, I'm not. You know, I haven't been doing this for a while, but
Well, a story is a story. All you can do is tell it the way you can tell it. And
yeah,
long as long as it can be relative to someone else to enjoy it, that's all it takes. Somebody's
yeah,
telling me the same thing. I got a stack of papers like that of my story. I just
uh-huh.
put everything. I can see why it takes 10, 15 years. It's a lot
You're
of work
right.
too,
Oh my
You say
goodness.
you're semi-retired. What's the semi part?
Okay, well, I try to. I'm doing a business, a wellness coach. So
Okay.
I'm developing that, and I'm trying to do advocacy for residents of nursing homes.
Wow.
Patients who don't have families, kind of be a stand-in, a liaison between them and the nursing facility.
Well, bless you. Was that a calling? Bless your heart.
I believe it was, Stan. The way I got involved in it, part of it, and I have to always reference my late husband. When he was ill, he was on the intensive care unit for 5 weeks.
That usually does it. Yes, indeed.
Yes,
Or a child or something, like that. Yeah, yeah.
yes, yes. So what I did, I was his advocate. Of course, the doctors kept telling me, why don't you just have us to disconnect him from the ventilator? He's not going to make it anyway. But my husband and I had discussed this, and he told me, um, don't have them to disconnect unless you see that I'm just not going to make it. Or don't make me or do not resuscitate unless you really think that I'm not going to make it. So I kind of waited and toiled and prayed, and finally, it got to be that moment that I had to make that decision, not for them not to resuscitate. But in the meantime, I met a lot of people who had loved ones. Some of them died while I was there. And what I ended up doing was kind of, I won't say ministering to them, and I guess it was ministering too, but I was kind of connecting with them, advising them on things to say to the doctor, regarding their loved ones. If they had a loved one that was on the ventilator and the doctors were giving them a hard time, I would kind of share with them what to do. And the social worker came up to me. She said, Esther, she said, you're really kind of helping these people out here. She said, have you ever thought about doing this, full time, or maybe, just do it to help people? At that time, I didn't, all I could think of was my husband at that time. So later on, I got involved. But the thing about it, I have not gotten paid for it. I normally do it as a freebie because I haven't built my clientele. So same thing with wellness coaching. I think I've had one paying client, but it's giving me the experience that I need in order to move forward.
Certainly, certainly.
Mhm.
All things take that time. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Are you from a medical family? Or are you the first in your family to?
I'm the first in my family to be a nurse. I was trying to think. Yeah, I am.
So were you the
Uh,
first to go to college?
you know what? I was within my family. Yes. What about you?
Uh-huh. Yes, indeed, the first.
Really?
Now,
Wow.
since then, my mother, who did not have she had didn't even have the high school diploma.
Oh, but mine neither. Neither one of
She
my
went and
parents.
got her GED and became a
Wow.
biochemist.
What? Wait a minute.
My,
Hold on. Are you serious?
yeah, my brother is an engineer. You know, they
Oh,
do algebra, calculus,
oh my
all that
Lord.
kind. I'm the only dummy, you know,
No,
in
you're
the
not. By
family.
no means. Oh
But
my
they
goodness.
all have degrees now, but I was the first, and I have a couple of cousins that have them now, and my daughter has a
Uh-huh.
this
She has a what now?
master's.
Oh, that is awesome.
Right.
Oh
So
my
we,
goodness.
we've passed on that legacy, and it's a great legacy, and it's the thing. Well, that's the whole thing I was telling you about the guitar. My mom
Uh-huh.
thought I was going to just play the guitar and not go to school, but I had not planned on not going to school because number one, I couldn't be in her household and not. We had to
And
finish
I go to
school. That's all
school.
there was to it. So I could be
Okay.
playing the guitar all I wanted to be playing. I got to get that degree or get that diploma and then make it. And that made sense to me.
Yes, of course
That
it
made perfect
did.
sense. That made
Yes.
perfect sense, because
Yes.
along with that, I still had my passion. And I never thought
Okay.
my passion would turn to be this, that I would be, living and thriving off of it.
That is
And that's
awesome.
another reason why I give it myself because I'm so thankful to be in this position to do this with my art.
That is so
School I
awesome.
went
Oh my
to,
God.
we learned so much about I went Columbia College in Chicago.
Uh-huh.
Their focus when I was in school, their focus changed into a thing of business. So
Uh-huh.
artists as entrepreneurs, you had different
Oh.
things. So it changed my thinking. It changed my whole attitude. That's what I started my publishing company. I had all these projects when I was in
Oh,
school.
your own publishing company?
Right, and I started my own business and everything. I got this through school because they encouraged kind of
Oh.
things. Because they said you just can't just draw and then walk on the street and just sell them. You should have some kind of infrastructure.
Oh, wow.
That in us, and that's what I cling to, and it made sense because if you have the infrastructure, then you can run it like a business. When you run it like a business, you can do certain things. You can have credit, you can acquire certain things, and you can have.
Yes.
And
That
then the
is
best thing I like about this too, Esther, is being able to put money in other musicians' pockets.
oh, wow. What
That's the
a big
biggest. That's
heart.
the greatest thing. That's the great.
Oh, you have a huge heart. Oh my
So
God.
this is why I'm saying, with all this treasury, I am not letting anything miss this account. God has got me, so I ain't messing it up for nobody.
Love it. Oh my
I'm fighting
goodness.
off all demons, and what they say, the fight for the self. I'm fighting them all. Hey,
All right. I
I,
love
I'm not
that.
giving in one way. They gonna have to just take me out, and they take go back to my father. So it's a win-win-win.
I love it. Oh my goodness. You don't meet any strangers, do you? I mean, your personality is so magnetic, and I don't know. It's like I've been knowing you for a while and I'm just
Well,
meeting
that's what
you.
I was thinking too, because that's why I said we probably before lives. There are no coincidences, as in none whatsoever, and there are no coincidences when you think about what I guess, what the mystics call the holy breath, because all prophets un- recognize other prophets, all angels recognize the prophets, all prophets recognize the angels. Everybody
Wow.
recognizes God's work, just like everybody recognizes the devil's work. Either you're in the devil's network or you're in God's network. So somebody say, "Well, Stan, what team you want to play with?" Hey, I want to play.
God's team. That's the only way, right?
I'm telling you, I'm
I,
going with the winning team.
all right. Oh my
They
goodness.
look
I
like they
love
winning
it.
on the other side, but believe me, when it comes down to it, I'm not falling for those tricks.
I love it. Oh my
So
goodness.
that's why I do what I do, and I'm joyous and glad of it.
I can
Try
tell.
to
I
share that
mean, I
with
can
all these young
tell.
people as much as I can because that's the only thing that's missing in our community, not knowing who we really are and what we really.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. Well, you know what? maybe one of these times when you're not so busy, you can visit one of our meetings. We meet on Zoom, the Bloomin' Boomers. We just went through a section on reparations and what else did we do? A Juneteenth, trying to teach each other. I didn't know that I
Well,
had.
that's just send me that information. Certainly, I would certainly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
All
yes, I would
right.
love that. I would love that. I
We
would love
will
to meet
do
some of the
that.
members. And I like about what you're doing this whole process because we need to inspire the boomers because number one, the boomers are the parents.
Yes.
They are
Yes.
still the parents because they're the grandmothers who are raising these kids. These kids,
Yes. That's exactly
so
right.
they need that support.
Absolutely.
And they need to
Absolutely.
know there's other people that are thinking about them and other people that are doing the same thing that they
Yes. Oh my
understand that,
goodness.
which will lift them up some kind of way, and that's God's plan. We
I
got
love it.
brothers and sisters out, and they need it. They need it bad, and I need help. That's too. So,
All
it
of us. I do
ain't,
too. All of
right,
us.
but you can't just get if you ain't giving. That's like
Exactly.
folks. Well, what you gonna do? Um, you gotta give. You gotta give. The more you give, the more you receive. But you
And
gotta
that's Bible. Yes,
exactly,
absolutely.
exactly.
Yes.
There's
Oh
no
my
science, no nothing special to it.
God, I love it.
You know,
Oh,
we
Stan, you
just
are a blessing. Oh my God, you
well,
are
that's a blessing to
truly a
hear that.
blessing.
Thank you very much.
Yes, indeed. So, what do you got on tap for the rest of the week? You gonna do some more nursing home stuff, and do you have a
Well,
conference coming
right
up?
now it's hard to do some of the hospitals, that I was doing before because of the pandemic. I'm not
Yes.
with that as yet.
Okay.
Make sure that they get that out, and especially that's going to be critical because it's after all this, there's going to be a real need for it. I mean, it's not
Yes.
in
Oh
every
my
home
God.
actually.
Yes,
Every
indeed.
not just there in the hospital, but that's the
But
first
everywhere,
first
yes.
responders. You got to get to them first because I find this mental illness is so great. I mean, I understand why we have this mental illness because of
Yes.
raised in this nation, but
Yes.
they have it also. So
Wow.
but if you poison somebody's water, where are you going to drink?
Wow.
And
Yeah.
my whole thing is that it's not about a race thing. I'm just
Right.
what the conditions are. I am no fool, but my thing is that I am to help everybody and anybody. I'm not holding that prejudice, and I never did.
I
It's
love that. I
my family,
like
too much
that.
of them in my blood, so I
Okay,
go
that's exactly
there.
right. And he made
Exactly.
all of us. We love each other. He made the blacks, whites,
That's
red,
right.
so we love each
Exactly.
other. Yeah, I like
Exactly. And that's why there's certain people having a problem because it's a new America. Oh well.
that.
Oh well. Get ready.
That's right. Accept it. Oh, yes. Well, I hate to end this, I have really enjoyed you. You have just made my day. I'm so thankful and grateful to you. And this is not the end by no means. I'm going to be sending you info, and then you're going to be visiting Alabama. And
I would
I
certainly
will
look
meet
forward to
you.
that. And I would like to make arrangements for that.
Oh, awesome.
Because
Oh, my
that's
goodness.
got to be because, like I said, I've never been there, and it's historic. And you're a native Alabama, ain't
Oh, yes. I
you?
got some stories to
There,
tell you.
the real deal.
Yes, indeed. Oh my goodness, Stan. Thank you so much. I
You're
really
so
do
welcome.
appreciate you, and may God bless you and all you do. And we shall meet again.